As I mentioned before, a single family file that we insert into a model can have many types of that family. That way, it allows us to not have different sized family files like we would have blocks in AutoCAD. Basically, we have one family with several different types underneath it. So let's jump into Revit. Under Models, let's go Open. Browse for keeping your exercise files. I'm going to jump into Chapter 2. I'll grab 0201 family types and click Open. For this exercise, I'll use a lighting fixture. So let's go down to Electrical, Lighting, Ceiling Plans. Let's go to one ceiling electrical. Zoom into some area like this. Say we want a nice, big, giant, 8-foot long lighting fixture in here. We don't have an 8-foot one, but we do have a 4-foot one. So let's go to our Systems tab. On the Electrical panel, let's select Lighting Fixture. Plain recessed lighting fixture 1x4 120. Let's click the drop down here. Let's go with the 2x4 277. Now let's click Edit Type. Let's click Duplicate. I want this to be a 2x8. 277. Click OK. Now notice that we can change all of these parameters down here for our dimension, length. Let's just make that an 8-footer. Apply. And notice if we click the drop down, it's just simply added to the list. Let's click OK. Let's click Place on Face. There it is. You skip a few times. I know that grid goes through it, but that's the architect's problem. So that was a quick, simple exercise, but that's it. That's how you create a family type. There are two things an MEP family requires to be useful within a model. One is the category, the other is the connector data. This is the bin data that we get with Revit. Yeah, it can still exist in a model without these attributes, but we can't put it on a circuit or schedule it. For example, if we say something is a mechanical VAV, and we don't categorize it as mechanical equipment, it's just a blank 3D element. If we don't add an electrical connector to it, it can't be circuited. So the objective of this video is to make a family that is categorized as mechanical equipment and has electrical data. In Revit, under Families, let's go New. I'm going to go to English Imperial if you're not there already. Let's scroll down till we find Generic Model. I want to start with just a blank generic model so we can look at how to make it mechanical equipment. Click Open. Now the first thing I'd like to do is on the Properties panel, let's click on the Family Category and Parameters button. For the filter list, make sure Show All is turned on. Let's scroll down till we find Mechanical Equipment. For the classification, well, we got none upon. We'll go with none. Let's click OK. Now I just want to make a box. We'll do that by defining it with our reference plans here. So I'm going to right-click on this reference plan and I'm going to create a set one. On the Draw panel, I'll click on Pick Lines. And I'll set it 1 foot to the left, to the right, up, and then down. Hit Escape a few times. Go to the Create tab. Click Extrusion. On the Draw panel, click the rectangle icon. Let's draw a rectangle from these 2 points. Hit Escape a few times. Click Finish. Go to 3D View. There you go. It's a nice little box. Hit the Save button. Save it somewhere that makes sense to you. I'm going to call it VAV. For my options, I only want one backup. Click OK. Click Save. Now click on the Home button right here. Under Models, let's go Open. Browse where you're keeping your exercise files. I'll go to Chapter 2. And we'll find 0202 connectors. Click Open. In the project browser, let's go down to Mechanical HVAC. Let's go to One Ceiling MEP. want to put it up on our ceiling. So let me click on this button here, close and active views. Go to the 3D view here. Let's click load into project. Now for elevation from level, let's go 10 feet. And we will be able to see it. Here it is right here. You skip a few times. Now go ahead and select your VAV. Notice that it says modify mechanical equipment, and we did that part right. But underneath it, we can't add a circuit to it, right? We can't add it to a circuit. So I want to change that. I want to fix that. So let's click Edit Family. Go to the Create tab. Click Electrical Connector. Now you can really put it anywhere. It doesn't matter where you put it. We'll just put it on this top face. Hover over this line here. Hit it. Escape a few times. Now go ahead and select this connector. From the system type, power. You hit the drop down here and categorize it as something. Go power balanced. Number of poles, we'll keep that at 1 for now. We can go lagging power state, load classification. Let's click into here. Click the browse button. This will be HVAC. We can change our demand factor. Right now the default's the default, but let's see what default means. So click on the browse button. So it's 100% demand factor, right? It's constantly on. Constant, we know by quantity, by load. We can bump that down, or we can add an additional value to that. Hit OK. Hit OK. So that voltage, it's called 120. Parent load, all this stuff we can leave by default. Apply. Hit escape a few times. Let's click load into project. Let's overwrite the existing version. Now let's select our piece of equipment. Notice now that we can add a 2-power circuit. We don't have any panels in here or anything, so we can't really add too much of a circuit, but you get the idea. So there you go. That's how you add an electrical connector to a piece of equipment. Let's add some receptacles. The Revit term for receptacle is actually an electrical fixture. The objective of this video is to add some different kinds of electrical fixtures and look at the type properties of those fixtures. To Revit under models, let's go to Open. Ross, we're keeping your exercise files. I want to jump down to chapter 3. Going to grab 0301 receptacles. And let's click Open. The project browser, let's scroll down till we find electrical, power, floor plans. Let's double click on 1 power. Zoom into this area here. One thing that bothers me is this hatch pattern in the architectural model. So let's go to Visibility Graphic Overrides by clicking Edit right here. Scroll down till you find Floors, select it. I don't want to turn it off. But for patterns, let's click Override. Let's uncheck a foreground and our background patterns. Click OK. Click Apply. Click OK. That is so much better. Let's pop in some receptacles. Let's go to the Systems tab. On the Electrical panel, let's go over to Device and click the drop down here. Let's grab Electrical Fixture. Now Properties, let's click the drop down here. We have Duplex Receptacle, we have Standard and GFI. We'll grab the Standard for now. Now we can place it on a vertical face or on a face. So let's click on Place Vertical Face. Now notice when we come to our wall here, it's just going to stick onto the wall. Maybe put one here. Put one here. Might put one over here. Escape a couple times. Now let's select one of these fixtures. Let's look at some of our properties. Elevation from level 1'6". That makes sense. Right now there's no loading information because we haven't circuited this to a panel yet. Let's click Edit Type. And it's just your basic 120-volt switch. That's important to know when we add a panel later. Just click OK. Escape a couple times. So let's select this receptacle, right click, and let's create similar. Hit the drop down. Let's scroll up a little bit. Let's grab GFCI, ground fault circuit interrupter. Click edit type on this one. Scroll down. Notice that the label is set for GFCI. It's a ground fault receptacle. Hit OK. Notice that the elevation from level is set for 4 feet. That way it goes above a countertop somewhere. And maybe there's a countertop right here. We can pop that puppy right on this face right here. It's right in the middle of that. But hey, it's on a ground fault, so who cares? Perfect. Okay, with these in place for the next video, we'll find a panel and circuit these to it. So now that we have the architectural model linked in, we have room bounding turned on. I want to identify spaces in our model that's based on the room information the architect's given us. So to get started on the models, let's go open. Browse where you're keeping your exercise files. I'm going to go to chapter 3. Let's grab 0302 spaces and click open. In the project browser under electrical power, let's go to floor plans 1 power. Let's go to the Analyze tab. Under Spaces and Zones, let's click the Space button. Now for the space, I want to make sure we select New. Notice now if we come into an area like here, we can just kind of add it to our model. So go ahead and tick that. And hit Escape a couple of times. Now if we hover over the space, notice that we can kind of move our cursor around. You can sort of select the space behind this tag. If you can't, hover over the tag and hit your tab key once and select it. Now in the properties, as we scroll down, we see we have all of this MEP information. But if we scroll down further, we'll see there's a room name and room number that we want to get. The number is 1, the name is space. We'll change that all at once. Hit escape a few times and zoom out. In the Analyze tab, let's click on Space again. Now I'm lazy, so I'm just going to click on Place Spaces automatically. 36 spaces created automatically. Okay, cool. Close. They all say space. What we can do now is we can rename these. So click on this button here, Space and Naming. Names and numbers. Sounds good. Let's click OK. Some elements have duplicate number values. Well, that's on the architect, so click OK. Just skip a few times. Now what I'd like to do is, let's go to the View tab. Let's go to Schedules, Quantities. Let's find spaces. And click OK. Now, select available fields from, instead of spaces, we'll go room. Let's find a room number. Let's find room name. We click on this little green add parameter button here. Now instead of room, let's click the drop down again. Let's go spaces. Now let's find name and number here. We'll add the number first, then the name. Now we'll click OK. It's a lot of blanks. So what I want to do is I want to sort it by where these blanks are, then we're going to just delete them. We added a space inadvertently to every little interstitial spot. So let's go to sorting and grouping and click edit. Let's sort by number. I'll click OK. Everything above 100 we can delete. So if you just click your mouse and drag it down, simply click on the Delete Rows button right here. That will remove these from our entire project. Click OK. That's a lot better. Now if we go back to one power plan, we'll see it get rid of all those redundant spaces. That's how you add spaces to a project. If we want to circuit the receptacles we have in our model, we need a panel to do so. Most default projects are going to have a few panels in there. Ours is going to as well. What we'll do here is we'll add a 120-volt panel, and then we'll go find a 277. To get started, let's jump into Revit. Under Models, let's go to Open. Browse where you're keeping your exercise files in Chapter 3. I'll go with 0303 panels. Click Open. Excellent. In the project browser, let's find electrical, power, floor plans. Let's go to one power. Let's do it on this room here. That's our electrical room. Let's go to the Systems tab. Let's go to the Electrical panel. Let's go to Electrical Equipment. Lighting and Appliance panel board. Let's click the drop down here. Let's see what we've got. About 208-volt MLO. Let's grab a 225 amp service. Let's zoom in on our electrical room. Let's pick a spot right in this wall right here. Escape a couple times. And go ahead and select this panel. Now, a couple things about it. It has to have a distribution system applied to it. In a later video, we'll look at how to create a new distribution system, but this is 120-208. It's what we want to see. In the properties, let's scroll down a little bit though. Under General, it's recessed, which it is. If we change this to flush, it won't change it. Enclosure is a type 1. For our panel name though, let's click into here. Let's type in PP-1. Power panel 1. Hit apply. Hit escape a few times. Now let's select this panel. Let's click the copy button. I want to copy it down a little bit. It's right in that corner there, but that's okay. You can select it. You can hit the up arrow. Now for this type, I'm going to click the drop down over here. We'll grab a 480 volt. We'll put it on a 400 amp service. Again, our distribution was 480, 277. Hit escape a few times. Now select this panel. And for the panel name, I'm going to call this one LP1. Lighting panel. Click apply. And escape a few times. Now that these panels are in here, they have distribution systems, and they have names. We're going to add some circuits to them. If we have receptacles placed in our project, as well as panels in our project, it makes sense that we can now complete a circuit. That's what I'd like to do in this video, complete a circuit. So in Revit under Models, let's go Open. Okay, browse your keeping our exercise files. We'll go to Chapter 3. Now I want to grab 0304 circuits. Let's click Open. Great. In the project browser, under Electrical, scroll down to Power, Floor Plans, let's go down to 1 Power. Let's zoom into our office over here. Select any one of these receptacles. I'm going to select this one. Notice over here I create systems. We can click on Power. Go ahead and do it. Click Power. Beautiful. For the panel, click the drop down. And only the one on the same voltage as this receptacle will be selectable, right? PP1. It's compatible. Now what we can do is click on Edit Circuit right here. And notice that there's some elements that are not on the circuit. So we're going to add to circuit. We'll pick this one, and then this one. Now notice the load name, it knows it's in Office 101, that's because we put spaces in there. Get rid of receptacle though, please call it Office 101. Beautiful. Now if we kind of scroll down a little bit, water size, we can change the water size if we want. Now look at our water sizes. Notice that here we can make an actual panel schedule out of that. So let's click apply. The connection type is going to be a breaker or feed through logs. We'll keep this as a breaker. Now let's click finish editing circuit. Okay, let's add some wires automatically. So if we hover over any one of these receptacles on this circuit, we can add some wires. So I'm just going to hover over this one here. Don't pick it though. Notice once you hover it, it becomes highlighted. Hit your tab key once. Now let's select it. Go ahead and click on the generate archetype wiring. There we go. Adds the wire. We can select our home run. Kind of move this down a little bit. Hit escape a couple times. Now let's come down to this one. It's a little bit obscured by our tag here. Go ahead and select men's. Click on the leader button. And what we're going to do is click on this little move button. We're going to drag it just out of here so we can see it. There we go. And move that up a little bit. Escape a few times. We'll have our GFC. Alright, so go ahead and select this receptacle. I want this to be on its own circuit, which is absolutely fine. So click power. And for men's, we'll call this GFCI. Men's 104, hit apply. Hit escape a couple times. Now what we can do, if we go back to the systems panel, click on the electrical drop down, let's just go to wire. I'll come right down to the bottom of this, and notice that you're going to find a little point. Go ahead and click on that point. Click a spot like right about here. Move your cursor down this way. It automatically is going to put a leader on it. Let's look at how we can control how our wire looks. Let's go to the electrical panel. Down on the lower right-hand side of it, we'll see electrical settings. Go ahead and click that. Let's go down to wiring. Click wiring. For show tick marks, you know, I don't want to show. So instead of always, let's go to never. Now we can specify voltage drop for circuit wiring. Arrow type for multiple circuit home run. We did multiple arrows. I like the arrow field 15 degree. Right. We can jump down to wire sizes. This is where we can change all of our wire sizes. Aluminum, copper, whatever we need. Correction factor. And also ground connectors, right? We can create a new ampacity. Complete one. Hit OK here. Escape a few times. There you go. That's how you create a circuit. Now that we have panels physically in our model and we're circuited to them, we can look at the panel schedules. So in Revit, under Models, let's go Open. Browse where you can emphasize files. Let's go to Chapter 3. Let's grab 0305, Panel Schedule. In the Project Browser, under Electrical, go down to Power, Floor Plans, 1 Power. Let's zoom in on our electrical room here. Let's go ahead and select this panel here. 208, 120, 208. Here's what we're going to do. Let's go over to Create Panel Schedules. Let's use a default template. Okay, here's our panel schedule. We can scroll over. Okay, so we have the GFCI here. We have our Office 101 here. We could click into this. We could actually type in receptacle. So all caps RECEPTACLE. Receptacle Office 101. Okay. Now, once we go back to our other circuit, we'll see that this actually changed it. But what we can do if we click on circuit 1, We have some choices here. We can move it down to circuit 3. We can move it across, or we can physically move it to something. Sometimes if you actually rename the load here, what's going to happen is you can update the name. Notice now that I have this selected, right? All the properties of my circuit that we looked at before are right here. Scroll down and look at it. Perfect. Knows that it's in electrical 107 as well. Let's close out of this panel. Okay. Now in the project browser, let's scroll down a little bit. Let's go down to panel schedules. Notice PP1 is sitting here. Double click on that. Let's just schedule it. We can close out of here. Let's go to the Manage tab. Let's come over here to Panel Schedule Templates. Click the drop down. Let's go to Manage Templates. Now there's a few to get you started. The branch panel with auto shading and feed through lugs. We had the two choices. Auto shading will just shade every other circuit. Now if we make any changes here, we can apply them to our templates. Branch data switchboard. Panel configuration. We can change the panel configuration as we see fit. Okay. Also, if you go to the Systems tab, go to the Electrical panel. Let's go to Electrical Settings right here. Let's come all the way down to the bottom. Let's go to Panel Schedules. Now our spare labels and our space labels, we can change the names of them here. So spare, I want that all caps. Space, I want that all caps. Click OK. Let's open up our PP1. Let's go down to like 7. Let's assign a spare to this. There we go. Spare, uppercase. We can remove it. We can lock that so we never move it. And of course, we can edit the fonts here. So there you go. That's how you create a panel schedule. Let's go ahead and add some lighting fixtures. In Revit, under Models, let's go Open. Browse where you keep your exercise files. Let's go to Chapter 3. Grab 0306 Lighting Fixture. Click Open. On the project browser, let's scroll down to Electrical Lighting. Let's go to Ceiling Plans. Let's double click on one ceiling, Electrical. Let's zoom in on this area over here. Go to the Systems tab. Let's go to the Electrical panel. Let's go to Lighting Fixture. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we've got a couple different. But remember the panel we put in there for the power panel 1 was a 277 volt. So let's make sure we're compatible with that. Let's come down to our 2x4, 277. For placement, let's click Place on Face. I'm going to come into this room. But we're at a 45-degree angle here. So what we can do, if we hover over any one of these grid lines, hit your space bar, it's going to flip into that orientation. So I'm going to put one maybe here over the door. I'll put one down here. Maybe I'll put that guy right there. Perfect. Just skip a couple times. Let's go back to our electrical panel. Let's go back to lighting fixture. See what else we've got. We have a 2x2 277. It's on face. Okay. I guess we'll put one here. We'll put one here. Perfect. Just hit a couple times. Now what I usually like to do is cut a section through here. So I'm going to click on the section button. I want to cut a section right down through here like that. I want to make sure these are in the right spot. I'm going to move my extents up a little bit. Hit escape a couple times. I'm going to double click on my section marker. I'm going to grab this crop region, grab this grip, and I'm going to pull it down about here. I'm going to grab this little grip here, and I'm going to drag it up a little bit. Now see we've got receptacles, and we've got our lighting fixtures that are squarely in our ceiling. Go ahead and select this 2x4 fixture. Let's click Edit Type. And for the type of mark, I want to just call this A. Click Apply, click OK, hit Escape a few times. Let's select this lighting fixture. Let's click Edit Type. Let's scroll down to Type Mark, and we'll call this B. Click Apply, click OK. Hit Escape a couple times. Let's go back down to one ceiling electric. Select your section marker and delete it. There's no problem with that. We can just select it and delete it. Hit OK. If you don't need it, there's no reason to keep it around. Okay, here we go. Now let's see how we can turn these on and off with a switch. In this video, I'd like to complete our lighting plan and add some switches. In Revit under Models, let's go Open. For us, we're keeping your exercise files. I'll grab Chapter 3, and we're going to roll up to 3.7 switch. Click Open. In the project browser, under Electrical Lighting, let's go on Ceiling Plans. Let's make sure we're in one ceiling elect. Let's zoom it over here. Now what I'd like to do is go to our Systems tab, go to our Electrical panel, let's go to Device, let's go to Lighting. The first item we have is the lighting switch 3-way. It's gonna have a 4-way switch. I'm gonna put this right on this wall here, but notice that it doesn't really rotate towards it. So let's click Place on Vertical Face. I'm gonna put that by the door right here. Just while I'm at it, I'll come over here and I'll place the switch right here in the corner. Hit Escape a few times. So if you want more than one switch, we're gonna just select this switch and we can copy it down. But since we've only got 2 lights, I don't know why we want one on one switch and one on another. Hit Escape a few times. So what we can do is we can bring in another type of lighting fixture. So let's go back to Systems. Let's go to Electrical Panel. Let's go to Lighting Fixture. Let's click Load Family. Let's scroll down till we find Lighting, MEP, Internal. There's a bunch of different ones. Let's grab a downlight recessed can. Click Open. Now let's make sure we click Place on Face. And let's click the drop down here. Let's make sure it's on 277. So we'll go with a 6-inch incandescent 277. And now I want to put it right in the center of this tile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply right click. I'm going to snap over eyes. Let's snap mid between 2 points. So let's click on this intersection here. Let's click on this endpoint or intersection there. And escape a few times. There we go. That's how you add switches. Okay, let's go ahead and create a lighting circuit. In Revit under Models, let's go Open. Browse where you're keeping your exercise files. Let's go to Chapter 3. Let's grab 0308 Lighting Circuit. Click Open. Let's zoom into this area here. Just like we did with the receptacles, we'll grab a single light. Notice we can create 2 systems now, a power or a switch, right? So let's click on Power. For the panel name, we'll click the drop down, and LP1 will show up because that's a compatible voltage. Let's go to Edit Circuit. Hold down your Control key. Select this little guy here, this one here. And we can add our switch to it too. Click Finish Editing Circuit. Now we can wire it up. If we hover over one of our lighting fixtures, hit our Tab key, select it, click on Arc Wiring, escape a few times. It's kind of messy looking, so I can grab this wire here. I can grab this little grip and just kind of make it look a little bit better. Grab this one. You grab that grip, pull it up. Grab this guy over here, pull it over. Oh boy, that home run's going all the way to it. We don't need that to happen, so let's grab our home run. Let's select wire move vertex. Let's bring this guy all the way up here. Can I grab that little dude? Bring it over here. I have to now home running off of that last. What? Now what we can do is if we want this the end of the road, we can just select this home run and delete it. Go to our switch. Now let's go to Systems. We'll go to our electrical panel. We'll click on Arc Wire. Now it's weird. I couldn't find it at first. It's right here. So come over here. Make sure we snap to that point. Pick a point here. Pick a point here. I'll just come down to here. Just gonna home run that. There we go. Coming and going around. Of course, now we can select this lighting fixture. Power. Let's click Edit Circuit. Let's go to LP1. Select this one here. Select that guy there. Click Finish Editing Circuit. Now, if we don't want to mess around with it too much, we can just come here and draw our wire. So let's go to Wire. We'll go from the midpoint or end point of this lighting fixture. Pick a point here. We'll come down to here. It's going to wire that in. Now we can click on Wire again. Go from here down to here. And of course, we can wire from a point down to our home run. So we're done. Now what we want to do, let's come down to our panel. LP1. Let's click Create Panel Schedule. Use default template. Here we go. We can just type in all caps lighting Office 101. We can just type in lighting reception 102. Click back on it. Our load name is updated. Close out of here. Escape a couple times. There we go. That's how we add lighting circuits.